And what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to SteveBussaGS. We got another scorecard interview for you, my guy. Please introduce yourself for everybody.
Yo, what's up, my people? This EL Young Lummy. I'm in the house, man. My boy Steve. Let's get it, EL, baby.
Let's go. Ghana was good. Yo, man, first things first, man. I just want to thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to come and kick it with me and the GS gang. A lot of the guys have been asking for this ever since I discovered you. Definitely been a fan favorite on the channel. Always get people going crazy when we do reactions. So much blessings, my guy. I appreciate you.
My pleasure, bro. I got you.
So let's do this. As I was telling you before, like I do think that this is going to be a lot of people's first interaction because of just like the size of the audience that you've amassed, plus the direction that my channel's going. This is going to be a lot of people's first introduction to the Ghana hip hop scene. So give me a little bit of background. Give me like the bio. Give me I know like 2008 is around when you start. I did my research a little bit. You was in high school. But I want to hear it from you. So like give us kind of like the background up until this point for the people who may not be familiar with you.
Yeah, I've always been, I'm very interested in making music, like rap especially. That's where I'm from. That's where I started. And I started with a group back in the day in high school called the Skillions. And there's a bunch of guys, we'd meet up in one of, our leader's house. His name was Jay So, and we meet up in his small bedroom studio. We didn't have a microphone. We didn't have equipment. We just had a computer. So we'd actually put our little dynamic microphone in like a cup. We didn't have a stand. So we put it in a cup. So I remember we sit by the table with a microphone in the cup and we rapping into the mic. And that was where we actually fell in love with the whole process of production and, recording hip hop music. So we were actually, I could say, officially the first hip hop group to come out of Ghana. And everybody's now doing their own thing. But over the years, I've been blessed, to be able to make the music something that I could actually live off of. And we've been around the world, man. We've done a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, around 2008 was when we officially began to, to go on this journey.
That's super dope. So you're actually one of the pioneers of hip hop in Ghana.
Yeah. I mean, word to, the greats. There's Obrafour and Reggie Rockstone and Hammer and all those. But when it comes to like official hip hop music, because I know these names I mentioned were responsible for hip hop music, but for hip hop music, we were officially, the first guys to come out and do it the way that we did, So yeah.
That's super dope. All right, so how does this sound? So like as I've been on my journey with the GS gang, I first landed in South Africa. You know what I'm saying? That's where I first started the journey in Africa there. Transitioned into Nigeria, and then Ghana was kind of like the natural progression after that. Huge shout out to Lyrical Joe. Met up with LJ, had a super dope interview with him and stuff like that. And that was kind of like my foot in the door to see what was popping in Ghana. In your words, as somebody who was the pioneer, how does the soundscape differentiate? Because there are a lot of noticeable differences between, say, South African hip hop scene and the Nigerian hip hop scene, right? So, like in your words, what makes it unique? What are the unique like factors that stand out? If I'm someone who's never listened to hip hop in Ghana before, and I want my foot in the door as an international fan, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is to be expected? What are the differences?
And that's a really good question. I mean, the lines have become very blurred these days. There's really, one might have a really difficult time trying to, especially for hip hop music, trying to differentiate where it's from, because most of it, I'd say, guessing, I'd say about 60% of it is spoken in English. And I guess the way that we can really differentiate where it comes from basically might be that the accent that you hear when you listen to hip hop music from the motherland. But the lines have been very, very, very much blurred over the past couple of years. I'm trying to figure out what else differentiates it. But when I listen to hip hop coming from Nigeria and I listen to hip hop coming from, say, Kenya, South Africa, Ghana, if it wasn't for the fact that, they incorporate a lot of their local dialect and their language and other stuff like that in it. It's basically just hip hop from the motherland for me. You know what it is. So yeah, but for one thing I can say is Ghanaian hip hop is actually, for me, in my experience and from what I can say, at this point, I think we might be the central point of hip hop coming from the motherland. I mean, big ups to Kenya and South Africa. They're doing their thing as well. But I think for hip hop coming out of Africa, we have some of the best rappers from GH.
Fuck that shit, King. Let's go. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a tough fan to get to. I'm a tough person to be made a fan of. You know what I'm saying? I'm very critical in my reviews and stuff like that. And I've loved a ton of this shit that I've seen come out of Ghana. Like I've honestly only scratched the surface, but everything that I've seen from you, Blackway, Lyrical Joe, Reggie, like everything that I've checked Manifest, like I've definitely came and like really been fucking with a lot of the sounds. So to have this opportunity to go and kind of get people to step in and familiarize yourself with these names and stuff like that is super fucking dope, man. Who would you say are the ones that keep their eye on right now? Like if I want to hop into the scene, who's popping? Who's buzzing right now?
I don't really look at the popping. I just look at who's really in their bag, like who's really working on their talent and who you should really watch out for. I'm not really a proponent of people who have, who have established themselves in the industry to an extent that everybody knows who they are. I'm always looking at, okay, who's fresh, who's new, who's working hard, And so when I look at that, I look at artists like, like Kept the Topic. I look at artists like, a bunch of the cats that I put on my bar tape, which I think we might come to. But there's this artist called Phil for Life, who's amazing as well. There's Trady, who is finally beginning to, to release more music. I've always been telling him that, look, we need to hear more of your stuff. So these might be names that people might not know about, but these are artists who I'm gunning or who I'm like picking to really do great things in the future. You know what I mean? So if you listen to my bar tapes, like all of the artists that I have on there are like some of my favorite artists. So go check them out if you have a chance. Man, they're amazing artists.
Absolutely. And I definitely want to get into a little bit of a deeper examination of the bar tapes that have been dropping, because there's a bunch of dope shit that comes along with that, specifically with some of the banter that's going on right now. So I know if you're paying attention to Twitter, right, there's like a whole bunch of war going on allegedly between Ghana hip hop scene and the Nigeria hip hop scene, saying that one supports the other and the other doesn't support the other, and then you have everyone disproving it. And yet we're doing reactions to like Frodo Baggins we just did, which is a super dope record, by the way.
Thank you.
And you flat out have you like shouting out "MI," you know what I mean, Abaga of Nigeria on there. So like, is that in their heads? Because like, bro, so much shit, especially when it comes to Twitter, gets misconstrued from the fans and are not actually reflective of the artists themselves. You know what I'm saying? So what's your take on all that?
Look, there's a lot that goes on in the industry that the fans don't get to see. You only get to see the finished product, the flashy part of it. There's a lot of ego involved and there's a lot of drama that goes on in the background. So, I mean, when I see stuff like that, it's almost tempting for you to come out and just spill the beans and let people know that this is exactly why this is happening. It's because A did this and this how it affected B. And, it's just a lot of clashes of the ego. But what I can say about the Ghana-Nigeria thing is they have policies in place that guard their industry. And I think we need to do the same thing back home in Ghana. I remember I went to Nigeria a few years ago and they wouldn't play like any songs from anywhere else except for Nigeria for like most part of the week, and I would like to see that happen in my country as well. We have so many DJs and so many presenters and so many stations that play like so much music from Nigeria. And so these are things that I think we need to balance out because we need to protect our industry. We need to safeguard our industry as well. So, I mean, it goes very deep, but the long and short of it is we need structure. We need a lot more structure to protect and also to grow our industry if we want to be as impactful Nigeria has been with Afro beats. But when it comes to the talent itself, I would say, whoa, Nigeria is not seeing us on any level when it comes to hip hop music. They're leading in terms of Afro beats. We'll give that to them. But for hip hop music, we're the ones who have it right now.
Sounds good to me, man. All right. On that then, so there's a couple of things that I want to stem off from that, especially when it comes down to like some of the things you said about like the scene in Ghana right now is roughly about 60% in English with the stuff that gets produced. In South Africa specifically, they have a lot of infighting in the hip hop scene when it comes down to artists who think that the people who rap in English are just trying to adopt an American style and aren't being true to the South African roots versus those who spit in local vernac. You know what I'm saying that that's the real sound of South Africa.
Right.
What is there anything like that that's currently present in Ghana? Is there any kind of like infighting between the local rappers and the English speaking rappers, or is that, do you think?
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I would say everybody has, both sides have the market that they cater to. I have a certain market that I cater to because I know they understand the kind of things that I speak about and how I speak about them. So I don't really cater to, let's say, a very local crowd. I cater to a crowd who have gone through a certain level of enlightenment, if I may. And I'm very deep with my lyrics. So a lot of what I say might go over your head. So that percentage of people who might not understand what I'm saying, I don't even cater to them. So I think that there have been certain slots in the industry allocated to the type of artist who you are. I like to pride myself as a 30%er. I don't make my music for just anybody. I make it for people like you and I who can sit down and dissect the lyrics and be like, oh, this is what he meant when he said this, and this line is actually 4-layered. It's 4-tiered, and many people don't get that. So I don't think there's any space for infighting between artists with that.
I still got you. You're still good.
Yeah, with that regard, So that's what I think about it. I would say there's a huge percentage of Ghanaians who have not been exposed to that level of thinking. So that large percentage is always going to be what you will see when you first look at the industry. But I know that there's also like a huge population who are interested in lyrics, punchlines, metaphors, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, the last bit on that topic, I guess. So on the other side, right, we have the stuff in Sierra Leone that's been popping off. Shout out to Cal De Niro, who took an ambassador position over there. And one of the things that happened recently was the Continental Cipher that Sierra Leone put out that did feature Lyrical Joe and Cal De Niro, who previously had beef and stuff like that. There's basically, yeah, that's dope. So there's two train of thoughts. You have the back and forth bickering between like, is Ghana and Nigeria supporting each other? And then you have Sierra Leone over here who's like, we just want to bring everybody together so that everybody can eat. There's two train of thoughts, right? Because you have you saying like, hey, we need to have that structure here in Ghana so that we play our own artists and support our own market before tapping into the outside market. And then you have the second train of thought now that's like, hey, from a collaborative perspective, we can all eat better. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're not over here dropping diss tracks and stuff like that, but putting stuff together and doing ciphers, where's your head? You've been in the game long enough to know when beef is used as a tactic versus when it's real versus what's hip hop and not hip hop and stuff like that. Yeah. Where's your thought process on this too?
I mean, collaboration is very important. There's a difference between, artists collaborating with other artists and then eating, and a difference artists just trying to take over another country's or another society's industry, and I would always encourage collaboration, man. It helps you to exchange your leverage. You might have funds coming from this side of the world and the other side, and then you have that collaboration, and it's just a great exchange. So I always encourage collaboration. And the matter of beef, I think beef is always been a part of the hip hop culture. Hip hop is a very it's a combative sport, and it's a competitive sport as well. So beef also adds that that air of, you know, excitement to it. So I have nothing against it, but my only problem is, like I said before, you know, overrunning a certain society with, one society overrunning another society with, you know, their music and whatever like that. So I mean, I'm always going to encourage competition. I'm always going to encourage collaboration, but I'm not for, you know, what's going on right now in the industry in terms of, you know, we playing so much foreign music. I'm not for that.
Yeah. Absolutely, hunker down, booster up the market at home first.
Yeah,
I feel you 100%. Are there any, since we're on the term of collaborations, are there any of them that you're looking forward to still? You've been doing this for a minute now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've knocked a lot of the bucket list stuff off. Is there anyone still left for you that you're looking like?
Yo, most of my heroes are like dead or retired. I said that a while ago. Like the people who I grew up listening to, most of them are like, you know, they've either hung it up or they've been gone for a while. You know, they're dead. So if I was to think off the top of my head right now, somebody I would like to feature, I think I like J. Cole. I'm not really with the mumble rap that I hear, so I can't really pick any from out of that list. But like you said, I've been blessed to feature some of my favorite rappers now. Going to South Africa, MT is one artist who I really listen to once in a while, who is doing amazing. And what's this guy's name in the UK? I mean, there's a couple of them, but I don't make that my top priority, man. When you get to figure out who I am as an artist, I don't do very well with collabos, but when they do come, I try and embrace them as much as I can. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that's actually, like I said, how I found you was first. The very first thing I heard was the jaunt with you and Blackway.
Blackway, yeah, I saw that, man. That was an amazing review, man. Like,
I appreciate you, man.
That was crazy. Yeah, I really enjoyed that, man. I think that's how I discovered you as well. You know,
that's dope. What was your? So you enjoy the reactions?
Oh yeah, I do, man. I appreciate it because sometimes I get worried because I figure people might not understand what I'm talking about, or they might not, a lot of what I say might go over a lot of people's heads. So it's good for me to be watching and see that, oh, he actually caught that. I'm like, wow, okay, then this is somebody. And I like stuff like that, people who actually get it. Not everybody actually gets it. You know what I mean? So that was a really exciting video, a really exciting time for me, man. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it.
That's dope. I'm always interested to hear from the artist perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because I assumed everyone was gonna hate me when I started this. I really did. I just assumed I would be painted as the villain, and you know, I accepted it. It is what it is. But has not been my experience, man. It's been a super dope journey. And
yeah, man. I mean, not everybody hears a line and gets it like that. It takes a special kind of brain, a certain kind of mind. You have to be very fast, you know. And I find myself like playing music to a bunch of people, and I'm watching for a reaction, and they just keep listening. I'm like, well, you guys do I need to bring it back? You guys actually missed that. And so when I explain it, then I'm like, oh, and that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for people who know what I mean. So, yeah. So I really appreciated that video, man.
Have you ever been upset at a reaction?
Upset at a reaction?
Yeah.
Oh, from you?
No, just in general. I mean, if it's from me, you know, just lie and say you weren't that mad. But
I mean, I'll always take it in good faith. As long as there is a reaction, I'm happy. Whether it's a bad review or a good review of what you have heard, as long as you heard it and you understood it, that's basically, I mean, success for me. So, bad reactions, no. I'm upset at non-reactions because then it's like there's nothing there. It just went right over your head. So for reactions, I'm always good.
Cool. All right, so let's talk about the bar series. All right, I kind of want you to walk me through this a little bit. So bar 6 just dropped. I've been enjoying it. I think the GS gang, for the most part, has definitely been on it. I've been getting a lot of requests here and there for it. But it is the sixth. It's the sixth one in the series, which means that there's a journey there. There's a story there, right? Can you kind of like walk me through the series? Walk me through the bar series and what we're supposed to be taking away from it, where we're at now, and what we can look forward to. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The bar series is like my personal. It's like a journal for me. You know, I want to at the end of my journey. Sorry, man. I think I got cut off.
You're good.
Yeah, but I want at the end of my journey to be able to listen to all these and know where I was at that particular point in my life, at least for the past 6-7 years. You know, documenting from that time. So it's just me just talking about and expressing who I am at these particular points in time, for as long as I possibly can into the future. So at this point in time, I can listen to like, oh man.
And we're back. My bad.
Sorry about that, man. Yeah. So, I mean, the bar tapes are like I said, it's like my personal diary, man. And I've just been blessed so much over the years to have the opportunity to do it and to do the concerts as well. You know, it's not easy to put together concerts because most of them are done, you know, by me and my team solely. Hip hop is not really what people want to, you know, invest into or whatever. But we always find a way to make it happen. And it's been great over the years. So we're going to try and keep it going as much as possible. It's basically for the reason of me, you know, putting it together as my own personal diary, but I also want to give a platform to these artists, underground artists who I believe in, trying to give them a platform to, you know, express themselves and to expose them to my fans and to my followers. So that's basically what the whole bar tape is about, the whole bar series is about. And we're going to keep it going until the wheels fall off, man. So that's what it is.
So that's kind of like our update as the fan base on just your mental health, where you're at in life and stuff like that. Just kind of bring everybody up to speed.
Yeah. I last 2 years I was in a really good place. So when you listen to, let's say, bar 4, bar 5, you might be able to tell that, wow, this guy, I mean, he's expressing something, you know. So it's just me just putting all these emotions, all these feelings, all these vibes into music. And then I'm hoping, like I said, down the line, I'll have a great reference, you know, as to who I was back then. Yeah.
So is there one of them that has like a special place to you that like you find yourself going back to because of that? Then?
So far so good, man. It just keeps getting better. So the bar 6, I can say, for me, bar 6 is currently my favorite. And the reception, man, the way, you know, the fans embraced it, I wasn't expecting that level of, you know, that kind of love, man. It was crazy when I first dropped it. I actually dropped it by mistake, and so I was like, oh shit, I messed up, you know. So I'm the type of guy, when stuff like that happens, I'm like, okay, you know what, fuck it. And so I just put my mind off it. But I remember I had to book a flight to Ghana that week. When I got back to Ghana, I checked my social media, it was everywhere. So I really appreciate the fans for the love shown, man. It was amazing. So yeah, bar 6 has got to be my favorite so far.
That's super dope to see, man. And I agree with that too. There's usually so much just growth from a technical aspect that comes along with it. So where like you kind of look forward to that. Like when I'm talking to an artist personally, like there's a difference between like nostalgia, like your older stuff is always going to have that nostalgic value. You know what I'm saying? And like you were telling me, like these projects are encapsulating a part of your life, like a time period. So you know, sometimes you can go and revisit that time period by listening to the music. So it's dope to see that you're like, yo, the most current shit. Like that means you're not in a bad space now. Like if your most happy shit, like the shit that you want to listen to is the current shit. Like let's go. Like that's good.
Man.
Like,
I need to be happy, man. I need to be like in the zone. And I found myself in the zone for bar 6. I was definitely in the zone for it. So I felt it. You know what I mean? I really felt it. So yeah, I was in Philly too. I was in Philly, and it was a basement in this house that I set up a small studio in, and that was my zone, you know, apparently. So I was definitely feeling it, man.
First of all, shout out the next time you in Philly, you hit me up. I got cheesesteak on me,
will.
my guy. I got you. I got you. I'll get you.
Will,
I'll put you in all the right spots.
Definitely. I will, bro. I will.
What would you say is your best project then? So my fans are watching this, right? Maybe they've seen like a reaction or two, but they've never listened to a full EL project. Right. What would you say is your like magnum opus? What would you say is your best body of work for someone who's not attuned to you yet, who's not a fan?
My best definitely has to be bar 6, because I'm always for the growth. You know, I'm always for what have I learned over the course of the journey so far, and how have I applied it. And I feel like bar 6 has been a culmination of all those years, all that hustle, all the blood, sweat, and tears up till now. The present is the most important time. So the bar 6 is probably my best, but for my most favorited project, it probably is Something Else, which dropped like an odd 8 years ago, because that's what actually introduced me to the scene, and that's what people latched onto to find out who I was. So it probably is my most favorited body of work. But the bar series, I can say from bar 1 to bar 6 easily trumps any single project that I've put out. The whole series as a body of work, you know what I mean? So yeah, go check out the bar series. There's 6 mixtapes, man. We're still going.
There's a lot to feast on. You heard it from the man here. Started the newest shit, work your way backwards, get acclimated to who he is, to get an understanding for the sound. I want to pivot a little bit. I want to talk about your fan base. You have some very, very dope individuals that follow you. And there's been some cool crossover. So huge shout out to everybody in the GS gang who started off as fans of EL, discovered the channel. Sunday. I want to give a huge shout out to Elvis, who was the first person to tag you, like, yo, we need to get this interview popping. Like, yo, you got to get him up there. Actually, I got a question from him real quick, if you're ready.
Right. So,
cool. So he says, for EL, he said he did a song called Suicide Note sometime back where he's talking about quitting the rap thing. And I want to know if that's how he really feels all the time, or was it just a song?
No, that's how I felt at the moment, you know, at that point in time. Every artist, there's not one single artist I know who hasn't been through a depression, like a depressive period, you know. So at that point in time, that's how I felt. I've actually wrote a couple of songs over that period of time that expressed that same emotion, that same notion of, you know, it's not worth it. Like, what's it all for? You know what I mean? So that's how I felt at that time. Yeah. There's also another song called I Did Not Ask to Be Born. And when I listen to those songs now, I'm like, oh, come on, man. You know what I mean? So,
it gets better.
Yeah, it definitely gets better. It definitely gets better, man. Just hang in there, whatever you're going through. Yeah,
I love it. So the fan base has taken to calling themselves the E-Aliens. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, the aliens.
The aliens. How did that come about?
I don't know, man. I think I coined the term a while ago under much scrutiny, and people were like, nah, don't call your fans that. I was like, I'm gonna call my fans aliens. You know, so because I have a feeling like, for me personally, I'm very non-conformist. Sometimes you feel like you don't belong, you're not from, like you don't really fit in, like you're not from here, you feel alien. So that's basically the vibe I went off of. Like, for anybody who feels like they're misunderstood, for anybody who feels like they operate on a different wavelength, and basically you're an alien. So that's where the whole, you know, the whole concept came from.
That's super fucking dope, dude. I mean, we're all about positive messages here. So you get a cool nameplate, play on words, but plus you're giving us the positive messages and shit. We here, baby. We in.
You know how we do. Bro.
So do you have any cool stories to tell us? So, like, I got stories. I just started, you know what I'm saying, with the whole YouTube thing. You know, I'm working on like 2 or 3 years now. What cool stories with interactions from the fan base, or people that just like, you know what I'm saying, the way that they show you love and stuff like that you could share with us? Because I love to hear that shit, man.
I don't have any single stories, but I usually get a lot of messages from fans on how certain songs have impacted them, you know. And I mean, while it's always our intention to impact people through our music, to make them feel a certain kind of way, some people are actually like delivered and taken through hard times by listening to some of our music. And it just goes to show how powerful music in itself is, you know. I've had people who have been on the verge of just giving it all up, people who have been on the verge of suicide, actually, people who have been on the verge of, like, you know, like just very negative times in their lives, and they say, oh, I heard this lyric of yours, or I heard this song of yours, and it gave me strength to not let go. And I'm like, wow. And they actually send me voice notes, they send me messages in my DMs, and I screenshot all of them and I keep them, you know, because you might not intend to have such a powerful impact, but your intentions go out the window when somebody hears them and listens to them in a different environment, you know. So that's one of the things that actually keeps me going when I feel discouraged, because I feel at the end of the day, it's gotten so much bigger than me, and it might affect somebody or affect a group of people if I was to, you know, just be like, you know what, F it, you know what I mean? So it's been fuel for me, and that's something that I hold in very high regard, you know what I mean?
It takes a very special type of person to be able to affect people like that, and to see that you acknowledge that and appreciate that, you know what I'm saying, like that's super dope, man. That's super dope.
Man, appreciate it, man.
I love to see, man, just positive vibes. This is what I'm all about, man. We like the violence, but at the same time, man, it's all about positive vibes,
man, we like the violence too, you know, we like the violence too.
All right, who does that for you? Who do you listen to on your dark room music kind of days?
My what kind of days?
When dark room music, I'm saying, like when you're not feeling 100%, when you're depressed, when you're in your feelings and stuff like that. What do you put on?
Nah, I don't. To be honest, man, I just listen to me all day, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. To be honest, man, I don't have.
He said no free promo on this interview. I got you.
No, that's the truth. That's the absolute truth, man. Like I have so much music. I don't have time to stop to listen to anything else, except maybe stuff that has been sent to me by other artists that I listen to, and I'm like, okay, I like this, I'm gonna hop on it or not. But to be honest with you, man, if I'm not listening to me, and I'm probably listening to beats. It's crazy. Or I have a Spotify playlist that I like to vibe to, but it's not really meant for any type of mood. It's just something I put on for background, maybe when I'm driving or stuff like that. But nobody in particular. I listen to a lot of movie scores. I listen to a lot of dubstep music, and it's weird, but yeah, that's what I listen to, man. It's
kind of see that. There's definitely some songs that you have where I can see the influence of that. What was the one called? Superhuman?
Yeah, Superhero.
There's definitely, like, I think that was the first 100 out of 100 that I gave you on the channel. That was the first time you got a perfect score on my channel.
Oh wow.
Easily one of the most incredible songs I've ever listened to
Thank you, man.
from a soundscape perspective. So you're talking about like dubstep and stuff like that. And if you really if you watch the review, if you get time, watch the review. I went in on that, John. We broke down every little sound effect that we heard and stuff like that. That shit was crazy, dog. That shit was crazy.
Check it out.
I didn't put that together, the dubstep type influence, the, you know what I'm saying, the electronic type influence, until you just said it right now. And then it put me back to that track as soon as you said it. Like, I could definitely see that.
That's my vibe. That's what I'm about. When I'm at the gym or driving, I just listen to stuff that takes me very, very much left of what people would expect me to listen to, you know, hip hop all day. But I also listen to a lot of like podcasts and educational material, which gives me ideas for stuff that I like to write about. And then it goes into the music that I make. So that's me, man.
That's dope, man. The next questions that I had are kind of more or less like, I want to give an opportunity for you to speak to the youth. You know what I'm saying? Like, Especially given this interview, like you said something really cool in this that I think a lot of people don't conceptualize. Like we talk, whenever we have like basic hip hop conversations, one that comes up a lot is, do you think it's easier to get on nowadays, or do you think it was easier to get on when you first started type shit? And you go from telling me like, yo, we put a condenser mic in a cup and that's like, that's what we were recording off. And then like, you look at the youth in Ghana now, and like, I look at like the last, like the 5th August Jones that LJ be putting together and stuff like that. Like the people coming up now just have so many resources to do super dope shit that we didn't have, you know what I'm saying, in 2006, 2008 and shit. Like, walk me kind of through that. Like, that's gotta be exciting, especially as the OG there. Like, how does that make you feel? Like that's gotta do something to you.
Yeah, it does. I mean, if when I started, for example, if I had the resources that people have like today, it would have been so much easier. But like back then, it wasn't, man. We had to burn CDs, man. We had to do a whole
fuck your shit, King. Burn a CD. What the fuck does that mean? You just confused half of them.
We had the Discmans before that. We had the Walkmans. We had the Napster. We had, so it wasn't as easy as today, But I'm really happy for the fact that, when you're talented, it's easier for you to get on, because these days you don't really need the labels as much. The labels need the artists so much more than the artists need the labels these days. You can amass a following, and that alone should earn you millions automatically, because there's so many platforms that you can monetize your following with, So, I mean, it's definitely easier for talent to shine these days. And I would encourage anybody who is interested in making something of themselves in the music industry to take advantage. But first, you have to educate yourself, because without the knowledge, you're just you're just throwing punches in the dark. You need to really educate yourself on how to make all these opportunities work for you. You know what I mean? So
how do you do that? How do you educate yourself on that?
Read about it, research. I mean, ask questions. That's the best way. It's all about asking, all about being curious. I'm a big proponent of asking questions, regardless of how it might make other people feel, or regardless of how people might react to it. Just find out if there's an itch that you have to scratch that, because that's going to lead you to the next stage, the next level. So if you're interested in, for example, making money in the music industry, sit down and start it. Google, how do I make money in the music industry? Start from there. And then you'll figure your way out to ask the other relevant questions that's going to lead you to what you really need to do. So first, believe in yourself, and then ask questions. Educate yourself, man. It's all out there. Like I always say, school these days is important, but self-education is actually, it's there. It's in the air right now. Like I got here 2 days ago. I got here yesterday, and I found one of my friends has bought this new VR shades. My girlfriend's brother, actually, he got the Oculus, and that's like another world altogether that most people don't even know about. But that's like the internet 3.0. And the more we find out about these new developments and how we can make it work for us as entertainers, as artists, the more prosperous and the more successful we're going to be. So like I said, educate yourself, man. The education is very important.
It's very dope. Let's talk about the skill side of it. So you got the education down. Step one, figure out what it is that you need to figure out, right? That's step one, right? Like get a direction, right?
Definitely have a skill. Yeah, definitely.
So I've been a battle rapper for about 16, 17 years now, right?
Right.
How I got better with the pen and the pad with writing and stuff like that was real simple. Battle. Keep doing it. Go take on people that are better than you. You know what I'm saying? Go to every corner, every cipher that you see, step up in, drop your shit, and then rinse, repeat, get better. Is there any advice that you can give the up and coming artists who are just starting? You know what I'm saying? The kids that are watching you who are still trash with their pen game right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody goes through that battle rap phase that I went through. You know what I'm saying? That what works for you, or what kind of advice would you give the up and coming artist who's still trash right now?
Yeah, I mean, for the upcoming trash artists, I mean, if you're trash, you're trash. You have to first understand that at this point, I am trash, but you have to be willing to work towards getting better, you know. And one way that I have found that makes you better is to like face your fears. Like you have to go, and everybody in the back of their mind knows what they have to do.
Let's go. Nah, because that's kind of deep. No, there was layers. There's layers to that. He said everybody in the back of their mind already knows what they got to do, and then he bounced. Hold on, let me pause this. All right, we back. So my man dropped the gem so hard it canceled the recording. So like, but not like that was some deep shit. He said that right before he threw his phone out the window. He said that in the back of our minds, we all already know.
Yeah, we already know. We already know what we have to do. Maybe how to do it might be a problem, but what we have, what needs to get done is always in the back of our heads, you know. So, I mean, as like you put it, a trash artist, work on yourself. I mean, work on getting better, work on getting your pen game better. One way I actually got my pen game better, which I don't think I've ever told anyone, is
exclusive.
I used to like, I used to, when I first started writing, I used to like listen to my favorite artists when I was coming up. I used to listen to artists who got really, 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 really deep, who had really, really, really deep shit. Talib Kweli and tell you I could go on naming, but I used to like pause and listen to what they were saying, and I would write it down, and I would memorize it and pause and write it down, memorize it. And I think that trained me on how to first arrange your lyrics. There's a technique that I don't know if many people use. I know my boy Recognized Ali uses it as well, that we write backwards. We write from the end to the beginning, and we sometimes arrange all the rhymes that we want to use down, and then we match. It's just, you have to find a technique that works for you. And another important thing is you have to stand out. You have to, at the end of everything, be different. And I think everybody has a certain identity that you're gifted with when they come into this earth. Use that identity, use that voice that you have to stand out, and don't try and be like or sound like anybody else. And once you work on these things and you're kind to yourself and you stay humble, I think the rest just clicks into place. People will gravitate towards you because they see something that is unique. And once you're able to achieve that, the sky is the limit. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's fucking beautiful, bro.
Let's go.
Let's go. Man, they're gonna cut this interview up with gem after gem after gem. These Jones are gonna be flowing. I like this.
Yeah,
this
man.
Cool, man.
That's what it is.
Last bit that I wanted to talk about. So from my journey through the Nigerian hip hop scene, and through South African hip hop scene, I've interacted with a lot of the battle leagues. So shout out to like Clash MC in South Africa. I actually hosted an entire battle tournament for them. The Battle Rap Nigeria in Nigeria, I've done like an entire documentary series for them where we like interviewed artists up until a battle and stuff like that. Is there anything like that in Ghana right now? Do you guys have your own battle league? Because I haven't touched it. I haven't touched that scene.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna introduce you to my boy A-Clips, and he's very well connected with, you know, the battle rap scene in Ghana. I actually went to go see one of their events a couple of years ago, and it was amazing, beautiful crowd, and the artistry was top notch. It was on point. So I think they're called Lyrical Wars, and they have their own movement going on. I think it's something that you'll be interested in checking out. So I mean, on the flip side, I'll definitely send you their contacts, and they'll be glad to connect with you as well, man. They're amazing boys. They do great stuff.
That's awesome, man. And that's really kind of what I want to talk about was like,
right.
Is the battle scene there? So it's called Lyric Wars?
Lyrical Wars.
Lyrical Wars. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I do reactions to the battles and stuff like that too. We do the breakdowns. I'm excited to see what y'all got over there. Is it integrated into the hip hop scene yet though? Like is like a lot of times it seems like the hip hop as far as like battle rap and commercial rap is just two entirely different worlds with very little overlap. You know what I mean?
Right.
Is it the same way in Ghana or?
Yeah. It's the same way. Battle rap and the commercial scene have a very thick red line. I mean, through them, so they don't really overlap. They stay in their individual lanes. There are, however, some battle rappers who make commercial music, just to, obviously,
push the brand.
Just to tap into that market, possibly, boost the numbers, because the truth is there's more people who listen to the commercial side than they do to the, hardcore rap side of it. And so, I think it's the same thing that happens here in the States. There's a lot of artists who are gifted on the battle scene, but also have to, flip once in a while to the other side to, so yeah.
Cool. Definitely something I'm gonna pick your brain about off camera. You know what I'm saying? Get some context from them and dig into it. If you guys are watching, down in the comments, let me know if you guys are fans of Lyrical Wars. What are the battles or who are the artists that we got to keep an eye out for? Always looking to discover new artists and shit like that on the channel. One of my things that I like most about this, you just put me on to somebody new. Nova Black.
Nova Black is doing his thing as well, man. He's out here in the States. He's a hardworking artist, and that's what I like about him. He's always looking for the next, the next thing to do. So big up Nova Black.
Yeah, definitely shout out to him. That was the Fertile Baggage was the first time I heard him, and I got like halfway through his verse out the pause. I was like, hold up, this kind of nice. Like, look. he's really talking some shit. He's not just rapping, like he's talking some shit. I was like, all right, let's go. Huge shout out to him. All right, cool, man. That's all the stuff that I had for you. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about or you wanted to address while I had a chance?
Oh man, no, I mean, I'm just glad we finally got to do this, because we've been planning on doing this for a while. So I mean, we finally got around to doing it, and I appreciate the platform. I appreciate the opportunity, and let's Charlie. I did. Whatever it is, man, hit me up. I appreciate the fans as well for holding me down all these years, man. 2022 is going to be extra crazy. It's going to be wild. So, just watch out for some crazy stuff coming out this year as well.
Absolutely, man. Keep us in the loop. GS Gang got your back, man. It's been an absolute pleasure discovering you and the entire Ghana hip hop scene. Shout out to all the artists we ain't got to yet. That's it. As always, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Go stream Bar 6 now. That's on all platforms.
Go check it out.
Check that shit out. Baby. Let EL know how you feel. Follow him on all handles. We'll go from there. Again, thank you very much, my guy. I appreciate you.
Got you. God bless you.
Peace.